Hi everyone, today I'm presenting my occupational therapy group Beyond the Diagnosis Progress with Parkinson's. This group focuses on supporting individuals with Parkinson's in managing emotional adjustment, maintaining identity, and continuing participation in meaningful activities. This group is designed for adults with early to mid-stage Parkinson's disease in a community wellness setting. The purpose is to support emotional adjustment, maintain identity, and promote continued participation in meaningful occupations. The group uses a combination of reflection, education, and structured activity to help participants build coping strategies, develop routines, and remain engaged in daily life despite changes related to Parkinson's. Overall, the focus is supporting emotional well being and functional independence. The frame of reference is going to be MOHO, that's what's guided this group, which emphasizes motivation habits, performance capacity, and environmental influences. This is really important to Parkinson's disease because it impacts not only motor performance, but also roles, routines, and a person's sense of identity. So using MOHO allows us and allows the group to address both physical and psychosocial aspects of the condition, which helps participants adapt their habits, maintain meaningful roles, and stay engaged in their daily occupations. This group is designed to build progressively across sessions. It begins with emotional adjustment and coping, and then moves into leisure and identity, followed by routine development and daily structure. In later sessions, we focus on communication, self advocacy, and long term carryover. The overall goals are for participants to develop effective coping strategies, maintain participation in meaningful activities, establish supportive routines, improve self advocacy, and preserve their sense of identity over time. So, session one focuses on coping with diagnosis and emotional adjustment. Participants identify personal stressors and connect them to an emotional response, and then explore coping strategies that feel realistic and meaningful to them. On this page, you can see the format and the supplies needed. During this session, you'll have an introduction introducing the activity and why we're doing it, listed here. The activity itself will be looking at stressors, as I said, and reviewing coping strategies associating with this. There's ways that we can grade this up or down as needed for our participants. Here we can see some of the prompts for sharing, processing, and generalizing. We really want our participants to feel comfortable sharing, and we really want them to understand why they're feeling the emotions or how they're tied to their identity and ways that we can help them during processing. And generalizing, we want them to understand how they can apply these strategies throughout the week and in situations of high stress. Of course, we want to find ways that they can apply this to their everyday life. So, choosing a coping strategy and using it throughout the week, and then maybe tracking how it affects their stress and emotions. For our goals, this session is helping to build the foundation of the group by helping participants understand their emotional responses, knowing that they're not alone, and start to apply coping strategies, which supports our group goal of improving emotional regulation and confidence. So, session three focuses on routine development and daily structure. We want our participants to look into their daily habits and routines and find ways that we can help to support them and create stability. Here you can see the format and supplies needed for this activity. During this activity, we will have participants analyze their current morning routine and break it down step by step. They're going to be looking for barriers such as fatigue or forgetfulness and develop structured plans using supports like checklists or visual cues. There's ways here that you can see we can grade down or grade up. And of course, we're going to start this with an introduction so that our participants understand what we're going to do. So similar to every other session, we're going to have our sharing, processing, and generalizing. Our goal of these are to really help those participants feel like they can understand that they're not alone and feel supportive in building these new habits and routines. So, for example, for sharing, what change do you feel most confident in trying this week? Processing, we can ask how it felt to organize the routine. And for generalizing, we can ask them how they could use the supports like checklists in their daily life. We, of course, want them to end up applying it. So, trying one of these routine changes at home, starting with one, and we can always build up from there. And then our goal this session builds on coping by focusing on daily function. It supports our group goals by improving routine independence, reducing cognitive demands, and helping participants feel more in control of those daily activities. So, session 6 is really a fun one. It's carryover, coping, review, and reflection. So, we want our participants to review the strategies that they've learned and create like a plan for continued use in their life. You can see the format here, and the supplies are listed. Again, we're going to start with those introductions. The focus is on communication and expressing needs and kind of tying everything that we've learned together. Our activity is going to be identifying common communication problems and practicing assertive communication and role play. This can be used for um, spouses, family members. It can be used for caregivers. It can be used for doctors, any type of someone in your healthcare team, just a way that they can write down and develop some common phrases, symptom explanations, or requests for support so that if they're feeling overwhelmed, they have something that they can refer back to and use that is a functional. We can grade this activity up or down as needed for our participants. So, for this session, of course, we have our sharing, our processing, and our generalization. For sharing, we can ask things like what communication situations feel most challenging for you, or what was it like practicing assertive communication? Processing, what emotions came up during this communication practice? And generalizing, how could this help you in future conversations? So, for session 6 application, we're going to look at referring to the binder as needed for support or sharing your needs with someone you feel comfortable with, starting small. Summary, communication supports independence and relationships. And then advocacy can help meet challenging needs. So, this final session brings everything together by focusing on communication and self advocacy. It supports our group goals by helping participants maintain independence and express their needs and continued use of strategies beyond the group. So now let's look at termination after all of these sessions together. So the group will conclude with a structured termination process focused on the reflection and carryover of this group. Participants are going to review their progress, identify strategies that were most effective, and discuss how they plan to continue on using these skills outside the group. They are also encouraged to identify supports and resources within their community. This process will help reinforce learning and support closure and promote continued participation beyond the group setting. So, in summary, the group emphasizes that while Parkinson's disease may change how someone performs activities, it does not define who they are. The focus is on adaptation, participation, and maintaining identity through meaningful engagement. Thank you.